Welcome to Quantum X Trades, BTC and Ethereum analysis. We're going to also analyze a few altcoins. All right, so let's start. In our previous video, we were anticipating a move to the downside, which I'm still anticipating. But before we can get that move to the downside, I would like to discuss what is happening currently in the markets. So previously we discussed that we have three waves. Let me switch to the 4-hour time frame. We have A, B, C. We are currently in the C wave, and we are at a very critical level, which is 1.618 Fibonacci level, where we expect the move. We expect BTC to drop. But before it drops, we have to analyze what is currently happening on a lower time frame, such as the 1 hour. So in our previous video, we were right about here, where I mentioned that we have a three-wave move to the downside, expected three-wave move to the upside. We were right about here, where I mentioned that the DXY is likely to drop, hence BTC might make that move to the upside because they're inversely correlated. And actually I can demonstrate that. So let me use a double screen. Okay, so this is our DXY. If you remember, I mentioned when we were around here that DXY is going to make that move to the upside. And if you see the vertical line, it's right about the point where BTC made that move to the upside, right? Okay, so let's get back to the main chart. All right, so what do we have now? So I'll quickly mark them just for those that are interested in what is happening on smaller time frames. So we have three-wave move to the downside. We have a three-wave move to the upside, right about there. And I'll mark it, let's say red, so that is just a little bit different. Okay, I'm expecting a move from here to the downside, but when we got this three-wave move to the downside up to here, it took out the previous high. So I might assume that from here we might get a move like this, making that five-wave move to the upside to complete the fifth wave. So in the C wave, according to Elliott wave, it's impulsive. So we have had wave 1 down here, wave 2, wave 3 terminating at the 1.618, and this structure it's forming is some sort of a complex pattern, which is typical for a wave 4, and we have to get a wave 5, which is likely to take out the highs. So it should be somewhere up there, and our wave C would be complete. Okay. Okay, so I'll remove that. All right, so I'll put a 5 there, 4. But it's also possible. It's also possible that from here we might just drop a little bit up to somewhere around these levels and make that move to the upside. Okay, so right now it's basically about waiting. You cannot sell. I've abandoned the idea, by the way, of selling or buying at these levels, because price is some sort of ranging, right? There's no clear target. There's you can clearly make a good entry for a long. You can clearly make a good entry for a short. So what I'm planning to do, or what I would suggest we do, is simply wait for BTC either to make this move to the downside, but that doesn't mean you buy in. It's just I just want us to complete this five-wave move to the upside. So we might drop here, get that move to the upside, and from there I would be expecting a deeper correction. All right, and by analyzing this correction that we're going to have, we will be able to tell if we're going to get that move to the upside. Let me just quickly mark that. Yeah, so if we're going to get that move to the upside, these targets that you see, like these points, these are just randomly drawn. I'm just giving you the overall structure, not that these are targets, but the overall structure that I'm expecting. So what is important here is not what is happening, right? What is important is for us to wait for a good pullback before we can jump in to ride this move to the upside, right? Right now, I don't see any good entries to buy Bitcoin. I would like to see a good pullback before I can buy, at least cheaper, to take out these lows when we reach that point, if we get a move to the upside, I'll be able to determine where we might retrace to have a good buy target to target the upper bound of the range. So I will share that again. So this is the top. So from here, if we can get that good pullback, we'll be able to buy around these areas, right? And target the upper bound, right? Okay, so we are still I'm sure many of us are still wondering, has BTC bottomed or not? Well, trying to guess the tops and the bottoms is not my style. I'll simply follow what price action. So we have had an impulsive move to the upside, meaning the bulls are currently in control. So it would be wise to abandon short opportunities and just trade with the trend. So the trend is to the upside, and I will be looking for a long position. So to get into a long position, I would rather wait for a good pullback before I can buy and ride it to the upper bound of the range around the 25K area. Okay, so once again, we wait for this fifth wave to be complete. We get a good correction. Only then will I be thinking of buying BTC. So for now, it seems we're trying to push up, but I don't know what is going to happen. What I'm interested in is whether it drops here to 20,187 or around those areas. It doesn't matter. Or if it pushes up to that area, I won't do anything. I'll just wait for a pullback. This is what I'm waiting for. If I can get a pullback like that, I'll be able to buy Bitcoin and ride it to the upside. Okay, so I will remove these targets for now. I'm going to draw them when I get confirmation of what is happening when we complete this structure there. I'll also remove the box because it has already served its purpose. So I haven't shown you the overall structure of Bitcoin. So let me zoom out. So we've been dropping since since 68,000 area. So I was expecting BTC, let's see if we measure from here to around here, I was expecting BTC at least to come to the equal length, which is around this area here. I'll mark it yellow so that it is clear, and I'll remove this. So I was expecting BTC to come to around the 12,000 area before, at least that I would call it a bottom, not where we are right now. But well, I wouldn't want to force things in the market, but work with what the price is doing. So the other scenario that we have is, well, maybe BTC has bottomed and we might be having a structure like the following. Let me just quickly demonstrate. So we have from this point, right, we might have, this is the left shoulder, we have the head, and we might have this to pull back, which I'm expecting, the right shoulder, right? And then target the upper bound. So this maybe would make sense and would say, well, BTC has bottomed and we might have that move to the upside. But we'll see when we get there. But for now, maybe this might be a possible explanation for BTC to have bottomed. But I'm still expecting, if we get that pullback, and we get this pullback, right, that I was talking about on the lower time frame, target the upper bound of the range. So the range, let me just explain quickly. We have these 2 points. So we have this point, the first low that we made around the, whatever is this? This is around the 17, right? This was the first low. We made the highest point of the range, which is around the 25k area. So this is how I drew the box, and our task will be observing how price interacts with this range, right? And it's also important, if you would like to employ this strategy, to do the following. So let me get the Fibonacci retracement. So you mark the low, which is this point here, the first low that we had, and we go to the upper range like that, and then we should mark the 50, the 0.5. So that's the median. Yeah, okay, right about there. Okay, so we are currently right at the 50% mark of the whole range, right? So that's why I'm saying whatever the price does here, it's not important. What I would like to see is a good pullback, and from the pullback I would like to buy BTC to target the upper bound of the range. Well, at least this makes sense to me. And from there, we might expect a 3-wave pullback. If we get that, I would also probably buy that, and BTC might go to, new prices such as the 28, 30k or somewhere there, right? Because it will be confirming that we're breaking out of this whole range. Or the other scenario that we might have is, if we touch the upper bound, we might drop, right, to go to all the way down, to take out the bottom, and yeah, to target the initial target that we had. But we will analyze that when we get there. For the meantime, I'm currently looking at the range that we have. We had a deviation, so we from here we came up, we reached the 25. So these are the 2 points I'm using. We came back down. We didn't quite test the bottom. Came up. We cut right through. Right. We came back up, tested the lower bound, got rejected. We came back down, and then we just cut right through. Usually it gives people an opportunity here. For example, it comes up, cuts through, and then finds support right at the lower bound, and then it goes up. That's another trading strategy that I use sometimes. But this one was quite impulsive, right? And I was expecting price like against this point here. I was expecting oops. Let me just increase that so that you get what I'm trying to say. So from this line here, this line, yeah, I wasn't expecting price to break that. I was expecting some sort of 3-wave pullback from here, and then we drop. But well, this caught me off guard, and price just kept on pumping to where we are right now. So I'm going to use this range because it will help me not to be confused with what is happening. So I'm going to use the range. This can also be taken as accumulation, right? We have the lower fractal, the upper fractal. We came out, which is a deviation. Now we are back into the structure. We are at the 50% mark, where I would like to see a pullback and then target buy and target the upper bound. And then when we get to the upper bound, I might sell and see what market does after that. Okay, so let me just quickly demonstrate this structure on we had this structure when BTC dropped from, the first time we hit 64. So we were right about here. So this is the accumulation range. So we have these 2 points, the upper bound and the lower bound. So price came up, it didn't quite test the top. Right here it didn't quite test the top, neither did it test the bottom, but here it tested, but it was quickly bought back up. It tried to go to the 50% mark, we came back down, tested the lower bound, and this is similar to what we're having here, a strong momentum to the upside, and we are around this area, right at this point, the 50% mark, and I'll show you right here. So this is where we are, right? This is where we are. Whether we get a pullback or not, oh well, here it's likely to get a pullback because we have had this structure here. We had this, and then we pump. And we are currently at the 1.618, where I'm expecting some sort of retracement, and from there I'll position myself for a move to the upper bound of the range, right? In this case, we price just hit like a bull pull, right? And then it just rallied up, okay? And even if it reached the 50% mark, I wouldn't be trading it. Why? Because it's not wise. This is not how you position yourself in the market. The best buy opportunity is to let the move play out as it did, and then with this pullback that it gave us, right? You can buy that if you see that it has found support, and then you would ride it up all the way up. And your target, for example, if we were, let me assume that we are here, right? I would simply measure my target, and I would create my target very easily instead of trying to buy around the 50% mark, right? Because I might buy, it pumps, I get, I make money, then it just comes back right to my entry, and I lose it, and I'll be like, okay, it's going to drop, and then you sell and price reverses and it pumps. Yeah, we have all been there. So from here, I would measure from the bottom to that upper to the support, and I would target the equal length area, which is around 1. Okay, and yeah, so if you buy this, you would get from here to there. That's about 34%, which is good for BTC. And from here again, we might have this, who knows, for BTC. So we have 3 waves here. Let me make that thicker so that it's visible. Yeah, we have 3 waves here. This is the 3-wave move, pullback I'm talking about. A 3-wave pullback, and then we have that move to the upside, which is a bigger structure, forming a bigger structure, right? So we might have the same thing with BTC right here. So we might have something like, we have this like that. We might have maybe a pullback here, and we make maybe another 3-wave structure to the upside before maybe we can see that move to the downside. Okay, but we want to take things one step at a time, and not to kind of make things up. We want to follow price action and get good positions in the market to trade. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. So we are currently with BTC, if we were to just compare, we are currently at the 50% mark. I would like to see a retracement for me to buy and target the upper bound of the range, and we'll see what happens, whether we break out or we drop and take out the bottom. All right, that's basically it for the overall structure of BTC. You might also want to look at maybe trend EMAs, exponential moving average. So this is the 200 EMA. We're currently right there. So we're kind of being rejected, right? We're kind of being rejected by the 200 EMA, but we'll see after the pullback whether we'll break and find support above the 200 EMA. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share on BTC. So let's just be patient and wait for that pullback, and we will have better positions to trade. Okay, let's quickly move to Ethereum. Ethereum is the same. We might slightly push higher for Ethereum before we get that 3-wave pullback. Let me use the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so for Ethereum, let's see. So same structure, ABC. Let me remove these targets so that we don't get confused. I'll also remove the box and this. Okay, so I'm still expecting price to push higher. Yeah, we might push higher, or as I said, we might drop a little here, push higher. Then from here we might get a bigger correction, and from there we might push up. And again, we are trying to target the upper bound of the range, so this might come up to around here. So if I switch to the daily time frame, we might have if I switch to the daily time frame, so we have this lower point, that higher point, this is the accumulation zone. So we haven't even tested the lows, and we haven't even tested the high. So from here we might test the upper bound, right, of the range. Yeah, we might come and we might slightly retrace, and then our target will be the upper bounds. From there we might maybe test the low or break to the downside, and only from there will we see a move to the upside, some sort of new bull run, right? But for the meantime, I'm expecting a pullback on Ethereum before I can be buying Ethereum or BTC. I would like to see a good pullback. Only then will I participate in buying these commodities. Okay, that's for Ethereum, and it also has the same structure as BTC, so you can use BTC to trade Ethereum, because they kind of move the same. For AVAX daily time frame, well, altcoins seem to have bottomed. So this kind of looks like some ending diagonal, right? Let me just, this whole structure, it looks like an ending diagonal, but well, I'm not sure. But what I know is we were very close to zero. So I mean, this looks like the bottom to me, but I'm not going to, I'll be guessing the tops and the bottoms. I'll just follow price action. So for AVAX, we might push higher to the 200 EMA, get rejected, maybe have some pullback, and then we'll be buying to target the upper bound of the range. Okay. Yeah, so it's the structures are very, very similar. So we also had a deviation for Ethereum. It came back, tested the low, came back down, right, cut through. So I would like to see a pullback before I can buy. At the moment, I'm not buying anything. Sorry, I forgot to show you one important thing on BTC, which is on the 1 hour time frame. So why? I said we're expecting a move to the upside for that fifth wave, right? But from there, I'm still expecting some pullback. And I want us to notice the following. So this is the highest point that we have of the indicator, right? The volume zone. And if you see what the price is doing and what the indicator is doing, we have a bearish divergence. So from this point to this point, right? So we see price making a higher high, but we see that the indicator is making a lower high. So in as much as price can push higher, what I'm expecting is this will still have that bearish divergence. It's only a matter of time before we see a deeper correction on Ethereum and BTC before we can see that move to the upside. That's why I'm saying we should just be patient, not to rush to buy, because if you buy here, you might be happy like, oh, Ethereum is moving up, only to be caught into a bigger correction that we might have on Ethereum and BTC. So please be patient, wait for, even if it pushes higher, just simply wait for that good correction before you can buy and target the upper bound, which I had shown on the daily time frame. So pull back here and targeting that upper bound. So be aware of the bearish divergence that is already forming. Let me even draw it on the price. So we have from this point, price making a higher high, but the indicator is making a lower high. So that is a bearish divergence, and very soon we should have that move to the downside. And for Ethereum, I think it's even around the 200 EMA. Yeah, it's quite above that. So this might say this might entail that Ethereum is quite bullish, but all the same, it has 3 waves here. We are in wave 3. We expect a pullback of wave 4, maybe to get a wave 5. But on both BTC and Ethereum, I'm expecting a pullback. For AVAX, we have already discussed. When BTC retraces and Ethereum retraces, we will surely get a retracement on AVAX as well. That would be a buying opportunity to target the upper bound, and we'll also analyze the correction itself, the pullback. It might be that it will just continue dropping, or according to the the pullback, it might be an indication of continuation to the upside. As for FTM, same thing. We are in some sort of let me adjust it nicely. All right, so I was expecting a wave 5 to drop, but all the altcoins and BTC made that move up. So I'm also waiting for we had the 200 EMA. We might get a pullback, just like we're expecting in BTC, and from there we'll be targeting the upper part of upper bound of the range. We might even push higher there, but we'll eventually also drop. But we'll analyze when we get there. Excuse me. So that's basically it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have questions, please write in the comments, and you can also reach me on Telegram. There's a Telegram group. You can check in the channel in the About section. There's a Telegram channel there where I will be posting updates on BTC and Ethereum, and if I see a good buy target, I will be posting all the information there. So please feel free to join. Free material, free content. Yeah, so thank you very much once again. Please subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.